Welcome back Chessbox Worldwide. This match features an intense continental rivalry between two of Africa's leading chess talents. Woman FIDE Master Jemima Paulo of Angola and women FIDE Master Sana Omprakash Kayyar of Uganda played in the crucial penultimate round of the 2025 Africa Junior Chess Championship. This game held immense implications for the final medal standings, Paulo being the second seed and Sana was fighting to secure the historical podium finish and the woman international masterdom for her country. WFM Paulo Jemima is an accomplished Angolan chess player who has achieved notable success, becoming the African Under-16 Girls Champion in 2022. Her strong performance continued into the senior junior category where she earned the title of African runner-up by finishing second in the 2023 Africa Junior Chess Championship. She was also recognized as the top-ranked female player of Angola in 2024. While Sana Omprakash Kayyar is a woman FIDE Master from Uganda, she is the reigning national junior chess champion and holds multiple national titles in the junior and women's categories. Recognized as the highest rated female player in East Africa as of August 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the center of African chess. And in the white pieces, Sana Omprakash Kayyar, WFM from Uganda, opened the game with 1e4. WFM Jemima Paulo from Angola played d5, the Scandinavian Defense. E takes d5 and queen takes d5, the main line. Knight f3, knight f6. Bishop comes to e2 in anticipation of bishop coming to sit on g4. e6, d4, bishop e7, c4, queen d8, going back to the base, short castling from black. Knight c3. Jemima went on and played b6, but however, c5 should have been considered. For example, after c5, we could have seen d takes c5, and after bishop takes c5, a3, a5, stopping any b4 advances, and we said knight f4. In this position, you can either go ahead and exchange the queens or even just bring back the bishop to e7. But however, after knight c3, she played b6, and Sana went on and played bishop f4, bishop b7, knight e5 should have been considered, centralizing the knight, followed by queen comes to c8, but she played a3, c5. But now remember, the position has changed because we have the pawn on f3, which is going to be supporting the b4 idea. So she played c5, d takes c5, queen takes d1, and after rook takes d1, bishop takes c5 is an inaccuracy because of the immediate pawn b4. After pawn takes c5, it stops the immediate pawn b4 idea, so knight e5 could be seen, and after rook c8, knight comes to b5, knight c6, knight d6, bishop takes d6, rook takes d6, and after knight d4, this can give black a playable position. But however, after rook takes d1, Jemima played bishop takes c5, b4, hitting on the bishop instantly, bishop e7, Sana is purely dominating the position, knight b5, knight c6. We say that all the dark squares are weak and Sana took advantage of that. She played knight d6, hitting on the bishop which is on b7. Because of bishop s6, the immediate pawn push is winning on the spot. Bishop takes d6, and in this position, the best move is bishop takes d6. For example, after bishop takes d6, we would have seen rook d8, b5. But however, after bishop takes d6, Sana played rook takes d6, rook d8, challenging the rook. Rook d1, rook takes d6, rook takes d6. King f8 is the best move in the position. Rook d8, rook takes rook, and after knight takes d8, b5 expanding on the queen side. King f8 finally, bishop b8, trying to attack the pawn which is on s7. But however, the immediate c5 was winning on the spot. B takes c5, we could have seen bishop d6 check, and after king e8, bishop takes c5, instantly attacking the pawn which is on s7. And remember also, pawn s6 can't be pushed because it is supported by the bishop and to be a free pawn. That's why in this position, after king f8, Sana played bishop b8, and in this position, Jemima played s6. But however, the immediate knight d7 would be so interesting because it attacks the bishop and defends the b6 pawn, and also remember, it cuts off the bishop to be very stuck on a7. But she played a6, bishop comes on to c7, attacking the knight and also trying to take the pawn which is on b6, king e8 defending the knight, bishop takes b6, knight d7, bishop goes back on e3, and in this position, e5 is a slow squeeze, trying to cut off all these squares from white. Pawn takes b5, c takes b5. Sana is dominating the position with 2 passed pawns, and this is almost like a full piece when they are connected. Bishop comes to d5, f4. We have to push, passed pawns have to be pushed, that is all the way from Garry Kasparov. Knight b7, bishop d2, trying to support the pawns to advance forward. Knight comes to c5, a5, knight b3, a6. So if you take the bishop, for us we are going to queen. Knight comes to d6, bishop a3, trying to support the pawns to advance forward. King d8, b6, and in this position after king c8, even the simple bishop f4 was interesting. b7, just advancing the pawns, and Jemima decided to sacrifice a piece for the pawns were becoming very serious. Knight takes b7, pawn takes, and now we see king takes b7, knight g5, double attack on the pawns, f6, knight takes h7, king c6, knight f8, c5, bishop f3, knight b7, trying to maintain the pieces in the board. And here is a simple tactic which Sana went for. Sana played knight takes e6. Remember, the bishop is pinned against the king. Bishop takes f3, g takes f3, g6, knight comes to f8, king d6, knight takes g6. The players were, both of them were in time trouble. King e6, king comes to g2, knight d6, trying to maneuver the knight to defend, but you know Sana is almost 2 pawns up, though they are still together, but at least this material is up. She's a full piece up, and also the material is up, so she's just trying to see a way of how she can convert the position. King comes to g3, king f5, knight h4 check, and after king e6, the king comes to f4, knight f7, bishop d4, knight g5, knight f5, and in this position king f7 should have been played, but she played knight h3 check, and this gave Sana a move ahead of her. King comes to g4, knight goes to g5, h4, supported by the king which is sitting here on g4, knight h7, and now she played knight g7 in order to bring back the knight to sit on h5. King f7, we see knight h5. Now the knight and the bishop are hitting on the pawn which is on f6, and it's the only pawn Jemima has in the board. See, if it's taken, then that is an outright knockout for her. King d6, and in this position Sana played knight takes f6. In case of knight taking, then it means Sana is up a lot of material, and it was in this position on move 52. WFM from Angola resigned the game, and Sana went on to win this round 8. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in your games. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment to support the channel. Thank you.